What's going on, everyone? My name is Scorpion, the owner of the Battle Hub Draft League, and it is that time again. First of all, I'm happy to be back on the BHDL channel. It's been a little while, but we are finally back, and we are here to discuss the Battle Hub Draft League Finals preview. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the two coaches that made it here, the paths on their way here, and also the final matchup of who will be taking the crown here in Season 5, the Ubers League. Unfortunately, this is a re-recording because we just recorded this. We had a recording of like an hour talking about the paths and everything going up to it, and then my footage got corrupted. So please bear with us. This video is going to be a bit shorter because we don't have the infinite time in the world. But luckily, the two guests that I have on board today were very flexible and we have the time to do it again. So we're going to do it again. We're going to be looking at the final matchup today of myself, coach of the Leaf Agents, versus Biradu, coach of the Atacama Tyranitar. So let me quickly introduce my guests. First of all, we've got my loyal commissioner. You know him, you love him. It's Brandon. Say hi to the people.
What's up, people? It's your boy Brandon here to give his most objective of objective opinions. And as you guys can imagine, me and Scorpion are not alone. We have a very special guest with us today, who I will allow to introduce himself.
What's good, everybody? It's Pokemaster88, and I'm happy to be here, part of the finals preview. It's been a long season, and I am just happy to get right into it.
Yes, sir. Like I said, this is a re-recording. We just spent like an hour talking about this game and like funny one-liners and whatnot. Just pretend that they're here, okay? We're gonna blitz through this. So first of all, here we have the playoffs bracket. Obviously, we have the Leaf Agents taking on the Swine Doubters, Raymon versus myself in one side of the bracket, where I was able to come out on top, and Biradu versus Emeraldminer on the other side of the bracket. Very solid matchups, but yeah, definitely, it was very entertaining and well played to obviously the coaches that made it. It was very hype semifinals, honestly, in general. Very, very talented players. I'll quickly share my thoughts on these matchups really quick, and then you guys can go ahead. Me versus Raymon, very, very fun match. Obviously, Raymon brought a lot of really cool techs. Obviously, the Kamala, which is Terra Dark to bait my Lunala, but no actual Dark moves, was really cool. Acrobatics on it as well to weaken Great Tusk early. Weakness Policy Giratina was kind of scary late game. But yeah, luckily my Terra Fairy Iron Moth, which I thought was my saving grace in the matchup, ended up doing really well. And also Vigavolt making a nice little surprise appearance. But a very solid game. Biradu versus Emeraldminer, very, very funny game as well. Obviously, there was the little Raging Bolt blunder where Biradu kind of miscalced the damage of Terra Dark knockoff Zarude. But still really, really fire set, honestly. That set, like I said, smoked me a mox, and it was really creative. Terra Psychic, obviously, to take hits from Mewtwo. And yeah, it was overall also a really solid match. But yeah, what did you guys think of them? Brandon?
Well, first and foremost, I did think that the Bandit Ho-Oh. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Hey, actually, yes, right game. Sorry, guys. Like, we've been doing this for like an hour. I had to make sure I was at the right thing. But yeah, I do remember that. I do remember thinking Biradu with the Bandit Ho-Oh was really cool, and I also thought that Zarude was just being very obnoxious in the damage he was doing. Because, bro, why do you hit so freaking hard? Like, oh my goodness. But it was cool seeing like the battle of the Calm Mind and the bulk up, and well, we saw the winner. But overall, I do think it was a very solid like game to watch, especially considering like even when Biradu seemed to kind of be behind, because there was a point in time where I was like, how does Biradu even win from here? Because he was like down like 3 to 5 Pokemon, and then well, hey, he made it happen, and yeah, it was a fun game to watch. What you think, Chris?
Yeah, an early blunder on Biradu's side with the Raging Bolt. He did miscalculate the Terra Dark knockoff on Zarude. Now, I didn't expect the Zarude to be Terra Dark myself. I was thinking like Ground, Fairy, something, right? So when he went for a Terra Dark knockoff, I was like, okay, wow, that still hurt. And he practically lost the Raging Bolt early for no reason. But, despite all that, right, Biradu hung in there. He played a really good game from start to finish. Mistakes and all, he managed to pull out this dub. I didn't even know that Bandit Ho-Oh can do so much work because it's only 90 speed, but I noticed late game that thing was just very hard to switch into. with Zaru, Terrapagos, and after Rotom was gone, right? I don't remember if I saw Golden Go or not, but after Rotom was gone, like Braybird was just going crazy, in the middle to late game. So
It was free reign. Yeah.
so very, very very good game. That's exactly what you want out of a semifinals match. It was I'm not. Was this a rematch?
This was not a rematch, I don't think. I actually have to double check
Okay.
that. But I don't know. But yeah, very, very solid match, obviously, for both contestants. And now it is Biradu and I left in the finals. Before we have a look at the matchup, there's one quick thing I want to note on. And that is actually why we have Pokemaster in the call with us, because he is the man that played both Biradu and I in the regular season. And not only that, but he won both of them. It was very close. Both of them were narrow 1-0 victories. But yeah, Chris, I'd love to hear your quick thoughts. What was it like prepping for our teams? Obviously, we have the kill leaders on the screen right now. 24-4 on my beloved Lunala, Lucretia, and 17-7 on the Terra Raging Bolt.
Starting with Scorpion, right? When I was prepping for you, right, I immediately was like, oh, low kicks for Lunala, low kicks for Meowscarada, right? And you being one of the most cerebral players in the league, it's never an easy time, because even if I bring the right stuff, I still have to outplay you. You know what I mean? So one of my main strategies this game was to just go in, relax. You're playing the BHDL champion, so it's not too much pressure, because you lose, you lost to the champ. If you win, big upset, right? So I was in high spirits, going into that game.
I feel like it's honestly a mindset a lot of people could adapt. That's really good.
And yeah, so that game I was pretty relaxed, and I had a feeling. I was like, you know what, man? If I lose this game, we're gonna go out and give it our best, and that's what I tried to do. And then when I was prepping for Biradu, I thought, see, it's different, right? Because Scorp, you're very offensive with the way you approach games, and Biradu, I always find myself having a hard time killing stuff, and stuff that should be dying is living. So one of the first things I wanted to do was figure out a way around Ho-Oh, and luckily Inferno gets Stone Edge and Earthquake to hit Ho-Oh, and then close combat for Treads, Mach Punch for Roaring Moon. Yes, I'm slower, but it does big damage. And depending on Raging Bull and the Terra, because it's a very bulky mon, hard to kill, even as a Dragon and Ledge type, and if it's tearing, it's pretty insane, right? And I didn't think Biradu's team was very strong at first, because I saw 9 Pokemon on the roster. I'm like, well, it looks strong on paper, but with only 9 Pokemon, I don't know what you're gonna be able to do with that. But he proved me wrong, because I definitely like my teams to be a little bit more filled out, 10, 11 mons. I liked having the extra space filled up. I feel like my opponent has to prep for a little bit more when there's more bodies there. But these
sure.
top heavy teams, I'm learning that these top heavy teams are very effective.
Yeah, I feel like especially in this format they are very, very strong. And it's no surprise that they've really made it to the finals. So yeah, with that, thank you for your thoughts on that. Without further ado, we're going to quickly head on to the actual matchup. So here it is, the finals matchup for BHDL Season 5. On the left side, Coach of the Leaf Agents, me, yours truly. We have Lunala, Great Tusk, Meowscarada, Terra Iron Moth, Empoleon, Sylveon, Dragonite, Vikavolt, Terraminial, and Munchlax. And we are taking on the right side, Biradu, Coach of the Atacama Tyrannosaurus, taking on Ho-Oh, Iron Treads, Roaring Moon, Terra Raging Bolt, Gardevoir, Tentacruel, Cobalion, Terra Girafarig, and Shaman Sky. So, let's have a look at it. Brandon, your thoughts on this matchup?
So first and foremost, I do think that like both of these guys have like pretty solid like Ubers. Like because correct me if I'm wrong, but Ho-Oh was also platinum as well, right? It wasn't like silver or bronze or anything.
It was gold, because that's why Biradu has the Shaman Sky, because Shaman Sky is bronze, and he has the gold plus bronze combo, whereas I have the
Well, man,
pure platinum of Lunala.
Man, the way he's been playing with Ho-Oh all season, it should be platinum. Hey guys, if we petition for it, Ho-Oh to platinum next season, hey, because Biradu, the way he's been playing with it all season, it, like you would think it might be, or it should be. But I do think like y'all's Ubers going into the game was like pretty. There are Ubers even I would use. Now, I'm being honest, Ho-Oh probably the last one I use because I don't think I could pilot anywhere near as good as Biradu has. But I do think like going into the game, y'all have pretty solid Ubers. Y'all also have pretty solid Terra captains, and in general, y'all's teams have like a lot of similarities. Both of y'all have like Paradox Terra captains. Both of y'all have a version of Donphan. Solid fairy types, solid bulky waters, solid bulky steel. Both have Dragon Dance setup users. Like a lot of similarities, but at the same time, just the game so differently. Well, not that much differently, but it's definitely note like differences because, like Scorpion tends to be more on the hyper offense side, whereas Biradu is typically like in that balanced playstyle. And like just overall, just like looking at the matchup, I did think like some of the key players on Scorpion side would be like that Lunala, even the Great Tusk, because outside of Ho-Oh and Shaman, nothing really takes a hit from Great Tusk that well. And if we're being honest, even Shaman technically doesn't take a hit from Great Tusk because let's say hypothetically you switch Shaman in expecting a headlong rush, but then Great Tusk goes for Ice Spinner. You're beyond dead, like super dead.
Things toast.
So outside of Ho-Oh, it's like, the truest, like Ho-Oh's literally the closest thing to the truest switch into Great Tusk. And funnily enough, the best check to Lunala is actually Girafarig. Like a lot of us want to write that thing off. But I do find that hilarious because it's actually a true statement, kind of like how Munchlax was quote unquote a check for Kyurem White. Just because if you throw thick fat and an Eviolite on it, it's like, oh, you check this thing? Like seeing mons like these check monsters like those, I always find it hilarious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, facts are fact,
Beauty of draft.
But,
beauty of draft.
I know, right? But I do think like some key players for you would be like the Lunala, the Great Tusk, and maybe the Iron Moth, depending on your Terra type. But I think the same could be said from Bira. Like depending on the Terra for this Raging Bolt, this thing could be very strong. And I feel like Ho-Oh, despite me thinking Lunala's the better Uber in this, I don't think Ho-Oh has the worst time either because it does have something for everything that you have outside of maybe Minior. But at the same time, I with all due respect, I don't think Minior is one of the things Bears is concerned about. But you get what I'm saying.
It's a Minior.
I feel like Ho-Oh is a pretty good. Ho-Oh's a pretty good matchup. I feel like so does Raging Bolt, and the only issue is I named 2 Pokemon on his side as opposed to the 3 I named on your side. I feel like I have really great matchups. But overall, I do think, and this is something that Scorpion mentioned before, I do think that outside of Munchlax, all 9 Pokemon on each side look like they have niches in this game. It's going to be a pretty cool game. Pretty cool. It's going to be very fun to watch. But what do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think you're right about Ho. I think Ho has a way to hit everything on the team for either neutral or super effective damage. Ho-Oh's got a solid 150 attack, which why do you have that? Plus redemption. So I think depending on what Biradu brings, because he had a sunny day Shaman against me in the quarters, so that's very interesting. He could maybe try that again with the power of Raymon. I think Raymon looks very interesting here, right? He could do decent work to Lunala. If he's deciding to run coverage for Great Tusk, he could do that. I think Rory Moon is an X factor here, and on what he could do. I think Scorp and his Iron Moth also look very strong because, as you all know, in season 4, Iron Moth does get Meteor Beam.
Yep.
So, you're not safe. He gets coverage for Iron Treads and Rory Moon. So, I think Iron Moth is also very threatening. Even Tentacruel can get blown back if Fiery Dance gets enough boost and you happen to be in front of a sidekick. It will hurt. It might even kill. So I think speed wise, the teams are very, very, very identical. I think the speed slightly favors Biradu because of the Shaman. But at the same time, Scorp has a lot of bulk on the side, like the Dragonite, the Sylveon, the Empoleon, Munchlax. I'm not gonna include you. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's gonna be a very, very great semifinals match. Very, very options on both sides. It's solid. So if I'm really picking a winner here, and I will say the only reason why I want Biradu to win is because of the storyline he has written for himself. This is his last BHDL season, so I definitely want him to go out big with a W and have that, as he prepares for his new baby.
Definitely. I like I said in the original recording, I said it as well, and Brandon just repeated it for me. But yeah, I do actually think the dynamic of this matchup is really, really interesting because of the fact that I think putting Munchlax to the side, all of the other Mons, like the first 9 Mons on my side, first 9 Mons on Biradu's side, have very legitimate uses this game. I think that's going to make it really, really interesting to see what gets brought and what gets benched. I obviously also think, my team is a bit more, definitely not hyper offense this time, but definitely more sort of offense oriented. Maybe bulky offense, if you will, because obviously there are a lot of the Mons on my team, like Great Tusk, Empoleon, Sylveon, and even Dragonite, Iron Moth, and Minior, and Vikavolt. Actually, like, apart from Lunala, and Meowscarada, every Pokemon on my team has played a defensive role at some point, Like last week in semifinals, Vikavolt was physically defensive. Week 6, I had a defensive Minior to counter Kingbura's a lot of muck. And I'm really, really interested. But like Biradu is also really nailed it with a lot of really cool sets. I thought that the physically defensive Terra Psychic Raging Ball, like I said from the semi-finals as well, was really, really sick. Obviously, Girafarig as well has definitely had its time in the limelight against DOV. So there's some really, really cool mons on this side, and I'm really looking forward to see what he brings. Obviously, Biradu does have the slight advantage of having 2 Ubers, whereas I only have 1. But Lunala is scary, man. Like, even in this matchup, like, Lunala is the original Calyrex Shadow. It is prime Ghost-type offense. And, if, like, his only realistic answers to it are either a Roaring Moon, which is 4 times weak to Fairy, or a Girafarig. And I'm not trying to disrespect Girafarig, but it's also a Girafarig. And if that thing comes to the finals, listen, man, you got me. But I'll be more happy to see it than disappointed. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, I respect Biradu a lot as a player. We were talking about it a lot in the previous recording as well. But we all seem to sort of agree that Biradu horribly underestimates himself as a player. Like both in Smogon battles as well as draft, he really seems to know what he's doing and really tends to underestimate himself. He even often, like in the battle commentary, he seems to like panic in times where he doesn't need to. Like, he's genuinely, like, he'll be winning, or more commonly it'll be a completely even game and he'll act like he's losing. But honestly, that can lead to some very sort of like decisions that really pay off and like get you those wins. And obviously, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Biradu was on an insane winning streak right now. He has not lost since his week 2 game. So
No,
it'll be
I hate.
it'll be very impressive if he manages to take it home from here. But
I hate to remind everybody of this, but I am the last coach that beat Biradu and Scorp. Just letting y'all know.
yep, this guy has the privilege of being able to say that he beat the reigning, or sorry, the new champion, no matter what in the regular season. But yeah, I'm not gonna say who I think has the matchup on paper because, like I said, I'm not even done building my own team yet. But I definitely have a rough idea of what I want to do, and I don't want to give too much away. But like I said, I think it is genuinely going to be a really, really fun matchup. I really like the dynamic of our teams put against each other, and like the way he's piloted his team as well has been phenomenal as well. But yeah, Brandon, who do you both on matchup alone as well as story behind it? Who are you picking as the favorite to win, or maybe there are two different sides of that? Tell us.
Well, based on story alone, I genuinely do want to see Biradu win because of the simple fact that because I know he's supposed to be retiring after this season until I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that he said he was going to retire until Gen 10, but not like from draft altogether. So it would be cool if like on his way out he gets to I get to see him win, especially since like let's be real, like all 5 seasons he's really been working towards this moment. So the fact that he's finally here, you know, everybody just wants to see him get there. Yeah, like me, like I really want to see him win it. But now if I'm basing it off of like matchup alone, I do feel like Scorpion has a more of an edge than Biradu, just for the simple fact that I feel like Biradu is going to have a tougher time switching into Scorpion offensively as opposed to the other way around. However, at the same time, Biradu has a lot of Pokemon that are kind of hard to kill. So, you know, it could be like it could be one of those things. But I do feel like if at any given time Scorpion loses a check to something, like Biradu just has more potential to run away with it. Because like I say, he does have a lot of bulky mons, but I just feel like Scorpion has a lot of offense that you just don't want to switch into. Like you just don't. But what do you think, Chris?
I mean, I definitely agree with you 100%. But because of storyline purposes and because Biradu has been on a tear lately, you too, Scorp, you guys have both been absolutely killing it this season. But without taking player skill into account, and because I like good storylines, I gotta give it to Biradu, man. You know, it'd be great to see you get your first title. You went from quarterfinalist to finalist all in one season. So for you to finish that storyline and get this finals win against the reigning BHDL champion and your friend Scorp, it's gotta be nice. It's gotta feel nice. It's gotta feel great.
For sure. Yeah, you guys both and a lot of other people are rooting for Biradu to win this game, and I'm actually no different. You know, Biradu is a very, very close friend of mine. I love talking to the guy, even outside of just Pokemon. We are great, great friends. He's also been a phenomenal help for me in my other matches throughout the season. An incredible team battler, incredible player, just incredible person in general. And you know, at the end of the day, he is yet to win a title in BHDL, and he's obviously got a very valid reason to retire after this. So it'd be great to finish it on a high note. And yeah, like I said, I for one am also absolutely cheering for Biradu to win this game. But that being said, I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Biradu, I know you're watching this. I may be your friend, but I am not gonna hold back this game. All right, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna come for you. And you gotta understand, I am still the reigning champion at the end of the day. I got a title to defend. So I want you to get it, but if you want it, you're gonna have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. Alright? So bring your A game. But
you
yeah.
heard it here.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, still really looking forward to this game. It's gonna be an amazing time. Great battle between two friends. And yeah, we're gonna, again, game goes live on Sunday 8 p.m. CEST, so whatever time zone that is for you. Stay tuned, because the uploads will be coming very soon. And yes, uploads, because we are both recording it and uploading it from our channel, so you can see the nice little duo POV there. And the winner will go home with the title of Season 5 champion. But yeah, that is going to be... Sorry, go on, Chris.
For you, Scorp, it's very, very poetic too, man. You know, for you to be in charge of the whole league and constantly being in the top, it's literally giving final boss, like, I'm your final challenge. You have to beat me to become champion. It is crazy how you are able to do that.
The Sephiroth aura goes crazy, bro. the whole final boss aura, yeah, it's really funny, honestly, and like, yeah, this is actually the League Agent's third consecutive finals appearance. I will say though, it is a bit like, obviously I lost to Anna in the Season 3 finals, but I did win, so obviously it's like I'm 1-1 as far as finals goes. So I will say, even though I do want Biradu to win this game, if I do lose, which again I'll be fine with, but if I do lose, I will go into the next season thinking like, okay, I'm negative in finals. You know, I'm 1-2 in finals. I was in finals 3 times, and I only won once, and I don't really want that to happen. But regardless, obviously, Anna and if Biradu does beat me, they will have both definitely deserved it. So in that regard, obviously, there's not really anything to complain about. And this league is so full of talented players, man. Like, I cannot stress... Like, it might seem like some people think, oh, it just comes naturally to Scorpion because he's such a great player. And obviously, I really appreciate everyone's kind words. But, like, I can't tell you how much it still, like, means to me. Like, even just getting this far in a league with talented players like you guys and the passionate community that we have, it's amazing. And the fact that I get to call myself the owner of Battle Hub Draft League, how awesome this draft league is, it's a real privilege, honestly, it really is. But let's obviously not forget that Biradu is the founder of it all, and he's the one that we have to thank for, you know, the start of this league. Because I may be the current owner right now, but I was not, you know, in charge of it since day one. So that's definitely got to give Biradu credit where credit's due on that front.
The cool thing about it is, you know, 5 seasons in, you know, we're still doing this. We still got a lot of familiar faces here from the earliest season of BHDL, and it just gets better and better. It gets more competitive every season. Yep,
we got people like me, we got people like you, we got Brandon, we got Emerald, we got you know, all other coaches that have been here, like all 5 seasons. But you know, honestly, even the newcomers this season, like DRV, Cody, Kingbura, like Lucario, man, they've definitely, like, you know, had their impact on this season. I'm really proud of our newcomers this season. Obviously, it's Kingbura especially for making playoffs. Shout out to you, my friend. Very awesome season here in your BHDL debut.
And that's one of my favorite parts about BHDL is like the coach reveal, what coaches are returning, what new coaches are going to be available, because the Pokemon community is small, so you'll see people from other servers that you know, and they'll sign up for this league. Like, you're like, oh wait, he's here. You kind of get excited, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's unrecognizable face, because, like, you know, draft is like a niche and a niche and a niche, right? Because then there's Pokemon, and then there's those who play the games, and then there's those who play the games competitively, and then there's those who get into competitive singles, and then in all of that you have the niche in draft. So like draft is very, very small when you look at the bigger picture, like very, very small. But honestly, it's cozy, and it's kind of part of the charm in a way. Yeah.
One thing.
HDL season after season feels like a must-see event, you know.
For sure, yeah. Hype is insane. What did you want to say, Brandon?
I was gonna say, I do feel like, though, like in Gen 9 specifically, though, I feel like draft has really picked up. Now, granted, I do remember people telling me, though, like in Gen 8, it was just kind of stale because of the whole Dynamax situation. But
that and the time range.
Maybe I'm tripping, but I do feel like in Gen 9 draft has like really picked up. 'Cause I feel like I'm seeing it more and more often when I go on to like YouTube and stuff.
And the cool thing about it, like, I feel like it's been more accessible. You got so many leagues, so many like eager and talented coaches signing up, and to see everybody like
yeah. As far as I know, draft has really taken off in Gen 9 for 2 reasons. One, because we finally got a 60-minute timer back, so like at least in terms of like Wi-Fi draft, like Gen 8 draft, as far as I know, was like almost all Pokemon Showdown. But a lot of people, you know, like us, we come from the original Battle Hub Discord server, which is a community for Wi-Fi battlers. You know, we want to play on Wi-Fi, we want to play on cartridge, we want to see our Pokemon. We don't care about none of this emulator stuff. And like, you know, the fact that we finally got 60-minute timer back was a really big revive. And then there's obviously the thing with like big content creators like Viz and PokeMD and stuff like that. The fact that they got into draft, like, it really inspires so many people, myself included, really, to try it. Like, I'll be honest with you, I joined draft because of Pokemon's running the BBR. Like, I thought that was so interesting. I was like, I want to try this myself, and here we are.
And that's crazy you say that, because in season 1, it was all of our first times playing it, and I would even thought about being in a draft league if it wasn't for Biradu, hitting me with the idea of signing up. So when BHDL 1 signups came out, I was more excited, and kind of find out it's my favorite way to play Pokemon. I feel like it's advanced singles. Call me crazy, you know what I mean?
No, I actually completely with you. I actually had a little thought about it today. I'm like OU, VGC, like every competitive format that you have, draft is my favorite, like by far, to both play and watch as well.
Especially in this generation, because I feel like, now, granted, I understand people have different opinions, but I do feel like other formats have slightly started to become stale, just for the simple fact that people either A, have the exact same teams, or B, they have maybe some mods will be different, but the overall core is still the same. Whereas in draft, well, you're never going to play anyone with the same mons as you, so it's always going to be like a unique matchup, which I feel like makes all the matchups very exciting to look forward to.
For sure, and that's just in a standard league. Like, if you got a community as close as this, it's it's Brandon versus Chris, it's Sculpt versus Ray, it's Emerald versus Bira. Like, it's always fun to see friends and tough competitors go up against each other, and that's, I think, not only just the beauty of draft, but like it's enhanced by BHDL's amazing atmosphere. It's awesome.
Especially since I think since we have been playing, because of course we get different coaches as each season comes by, but for the most part we have had the same, I guess you could say, core of coaches, for a lack of better phrasing, and I feel like it's because we've had the same core and everyone just knows what to expect from the other person right now. It just adds to the excitement, because it's oh, it's him versus him. We know there's gonna be a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like, you have some BHDL classics, and it's like Scorp said, it's the Ray versus Scorp, the Chris versus Brandon, the Emerald versus Chris's, and it's crazy. And then season after season we get brand new coaches. It's just an exciting time. And even though BHDL 5 flew by, I am looking forward to a season 6. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping and praying, because I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, for sure. We are obviously.
And I could be wrong.
Sorry, go
I
on.
love the atmosphere.
Oh, I was gonna say, I could be wrong, but I feel like every single season we always have at least one, sometimes 2 rookies that just, okay, I didn't know what to expect from you before this season, but you showed me.
Yeah.
Because this season it was Kingbura, last season it was Al, before that was
Anna. Yeah, these Anna, Kingbura, and Al have all done exceptionally well in their first seasons of BHDL, for sure. It's and Kingbura especially, man. This guy's voice and vibe in his videos, I freaking love Kingbura so much, man. Very glad he was part of this league this season.
No, Kingbura he's really hype. When he gets excited when he's doing well, and when he's kicking ass, he's doing great.
Yeah.
And I do watch him. I do watch his videos, and even though I don't speak Italian fluently myself, I find him very, very entertaining. I think it's
same. You can just there's a lot of personality in it, right? That's always a great thing, and it's always a little fun to try and pick up the Italian words as well. I'm personally never gonna do a video in Dutch, but I do find it really fun how some people
never did that. That would be so great.
You know what? Maybe for a battle start I could do it, but I'm definitely a predominant English speaker. I pretty much speak this language more than I speak my own language, funnily enough.
I don't think I've ever heard the Dutch language.
Nou, misschien doe ik er ooit een keer een video over. En wat ik nu aan het zeggen ben, alleen Stefan weet dat. Maar Misschien komt het er wel een keer. There you go, there's your Dutch.
Wow, crazy.
Remember the last time we did a call like this? It was me, Scorp, and Frandy. He was trying to teach us a word. And I swear, every time I tried to say it, I'm just sitting here like, you have to speak this shit every single day of your life when you're not around us. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, like because of my study and stuff, I do definitely speak Dutch. Oh, sorry, I definitely almost speak English more than Dutch at this point. But it's definitely a very fun language to speak around people who have no idea what it meant. And like what I was saying just now is that like what I was saying, only Stefan understands. I don't know if you're watching this video, Stefan, but if you do, shout out to you, my fellow Dutchie. Yeah, it could be fun to do that maybe for a milestone one day. But yeah.
Because I'm half Vietnamese and I can't speak a lick of Vietnamese. So if you're Dutch or Italian and you speak your own language, dude, I tip my hat off to you. That is not.
It is beautiful. Yeah, like Biradu speaking in Spanish, Kingbura speaking in Italian. Everyone in their languages, like it's honestly a beautiful thing. And obviously English is always beautiful, be it American or British like I do. We love it really.
It's just a good reminder that no matter where you come from, dude, Pokemon brings people together, and
facts.
That's pretty much what the game was intended for.
It really brings people together. Yeah.
It's amazing to be a.
I also want to give a very, very small, albeit special shout out to Raymon, because I know that learning English in Russia is not the most easy thing in the world, but Ray's English is very, very good as well. Like, again, I say this as an English teacher. His English is phenomenal, which is really.
No,
good.
It is. It really is. I don't ever have an issue figuring out what Ray's saying. It's.
Me neither. Very,
it comes
very
its own way.
Like you can tell the accent, right? Like you can tell he's Russian, but he does a phenomenal job at speaking and pronouncing things. It's very, very impressive. And I love hearing it. Honestly, I love hearing his voice.
And that's the same with Biradu. Like English is a tough language, so anybody who can speak it outside of their own language, dude. Again, I props to you, because it's not easy not just learning your own language and then learning the American language, all these syllables and vowels and things that we got.
Yep.
It's
all right.
That's pretty good. But this is also why when we have that, we have a certain coach in the BHDL. He knows he's mispronouncing stuff. He does it. He does it on purpose. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Like a certain somebody who, we all know it's pronounced Ogie Dogie, but he just loves to say Oogie Doogie instead. And I'll be sitting here like, bro, I know your English is better than that.
Or he says, or Lunela, Kyram, some. Yeah. That last one especially is a war crime. Like, hello, Kyram saying it's Kyram. Like, you serious?
Not the Kyram.
Yeah, Kyram is crazy, bro. I'm genuinely like, Beanard, please tell me if Kyram was like your actual trying to pronunciate. Like, please tell me if that was actually you trying to pronounce Kyram, or if you just said that for a joke, because I need to know. Anyway, I'm gonna round off the video here, ladies and gentlemen, because we've been kind of going off track a little bit. Kind of spent the last 10 minutes just talking about other stuff. But hey, again, I want to very quickly address this again. My sincerest apologies to both Chris, Brandon, and anyone else, because this video is going to be a bit shorter than the initial video we had, because again, my footage got corrupted and it was all messed up. But we still hope you enjoyed this finals analysis. Again, thank you so much for Brandon and Chris for not only being flexible, but also getting your quick and concise points across. I think it turned out really well. And with that, again, stay tuned for the games. And I also want to say, which I didn't say in the original recording, this video might be a little shorter, so going to be 40 minutes though. There is definitely more BHDL content, both about Season 5 and in general, coming soon in the seasonal break, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, as well as to me and Biradu if you want to see the finals. Again, 8 PM CEST. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace out.
Pokemaster out.